Hi, Charles Hall. Have you ever run into a problem with audit risk assessment? Have you ever had a peer review where the peer reviewer is looking at your audit risk assessment documentation and he or she's not real happy with what they're seeing? Have you ever been confused about what you needed to do in reference to risk assessment? If you've said yes to any of these questions, then I've got something that will help you, and that something is a new book that I've written, and it's called Audit Risk Assessment Made Easy. Now, if you've looked at audit risk assessment publications before, you know that they're normally very long and very complex. I've written this book in a way that makes it easy for you to understand audit risk assessment and to use this tool in the right way and to make yourself and your peer reviewer happier in the days ahead. Now, if you go out to Amazon, you're going to see this new book, and it's called, again, Audit Risk Assessment Made Easy. Now I'm going to click on the book cover and we're going to take a quick look inside the book. And the first thing I'd like to do today is give thanks to the people that read my book and endorsed it. So thanks to Dr. Eddie Thomas over at Georgia College, to Jim Newhart up in Pennsylvania, to Sam Latimer in Gainesville, Georgia, to Jim Bennett up in Ann Arbor, Michigan, to Mark Welp in Columbus, Ohio, to Jeff Fulton in Atlanta, Georgia, to Chris Banta up in Virginia, and then finally to Lita Hart Fanta with Yellow Book CPE in Austin, Texas. So thanks to these people for taking the time to read the book and endorse it. And then I want to take a quick look at the table of contents because you may be wondering, well, what's in the book? So let me expand this a little bit so you can see it better. You're going to see three sections in this book. One, risk assessment procedures. Two, assessing the risk of material misstatement. And three, responses to the risk of material misstatement. In that first section, you're going to see how to do things such as walkthroughs, such as preliminary analytics, such as your fraud inquiries. And as you learn more about the risk assessment procedures, you're going to feel more confident about how to use these tools to plan your engagements. Once you get through this first section, then I'm going to show you how to assess your risk for inherent risk, control risk, and the risk of material misstatement at the assertion level. And we're going to do this for the significant transactions, account balances, and disclosures. So you do your risk assessment procedures, then you'll use that information to assess the risk. And then from here, we're going to create linkage out to the audit procedures. So after we've done the risk assessment, next we're going to create the audit steps in our audit programs that will drive the audit process. And so in that last section, we take a look at tested details, substantive analytics, and tested controls. Those are the three ways that you create audit steps. There's been a lot of confusion about this third piece, tested controls. Once you read this chapter, you'll know what to do. You'll know whether to test controls or not. Also, that substantive analytics piece, I'm going to give you some really powerful ways to create evidential manner in your audits in a very efficient manner. Most auditors really lean on tested details, and that's great, but we also need to see how we can use substantive analytics. And then sometimes with companies that have good internal controls, we may want to test those controls for effectiveness. But I'm going to show you the most efficient way to use each of these in the days ahead. So I encourage you, go out and buy your copy on Amazon, read it. It won't take you but probably 2 or 3 hours to read the book. If you want to look at particular chapters, you don't necessarily have to read the whole book, but you can go to the areas that you feel like you need information about. This will be a valuable tool. You want to, keep it handy wherever you are so that you can reach for it and see what you need to do about risk assessment in the days ahead. Now, I started writing this book about 1.5 years ago, and I did so because I work with several CPA firms across the country, and I kept having practitioners say to me, I don't understand risk assessment. I don't know what I'm supposed to do. When you read this book, I promise you, you'll have a much better understanding of risk assessment. And hey, you may even find out you like it. But it's a very powerful tool in an auditor's tool chest. So I want you to understand it. I want you to leverage it for your sake. Also, you'll make your peer reviewer happier in the days ahead. That's always a good thing, is it not? So check it out, Audit Risk Assessment Made Easy. It's on Amazon today in a paperback format and the Kindle format. Take care, and bye now.